plug in to our conversations with Mac and Opes. We got you. You plug. How do you know with Mac and Opes?
Good evening, friends and family. Thank you for joining us once again. Wait, let me do this. His name is Opa Haralimikana. King Kiri Kari Kari. I'm no much to Rusa.
No, please, I would like to do that for myself.
No, it's okay.
Yes, guys, he is Magabongo Vena, but I prefer to introduce myself. For those who do not know me, I am Opa Haramalekana. Gamanarin mom sibudo kata faso washadro katagas. Gigi tena kabazule kamlomla tuturusa kugoblo betawtru moru mutulu komari tone. And yes, I am chilling with my friend here, and of course you can see that we are plugging you. This is our brand new t-shirts, guys. We hope that you like them. We love them so much, and we have spoken about it. It's part of our rebranding, but we are uncovering them today, and we are so excited. What do you think, man?
Yes, I think they're good. I think they're good, and actually we are ready to take orders, right? If you guys are interested, please send us a DM, send us messages, and we'll let you know the prices in due time.
Oh yeah.
But please, you also want to plug yourself with one.
Oh yes.
And show that you're plugged in.
Plug in.
You plug.
Yeah, sure. So guys, we are so excited to be to have you joining us again tonight, and to be with you wherever you find yourself, whether it's at home or at work or wherever you find yourself. But we are thankful that you are able to join us and be with us, and we want to continue with the topic that we have had previously. Now it's the third session, right?
Yeah.
How do you know?
How do you know?
How do you know if this person? Of course, we don't claim to say, we are not here to tell you that this is the right person when they do this and this.
Yeah.
We are just here to share our own advices, and we are hoping that you can take that. Whatever that works for you, it works. Whatever doesn't work, throw it aside.
And if it worked for you, please let us know.
Yeah,
how.
let us know,
some
please.
Of us are not there yet. Over sorted.
Yeah.
Some of us.
Yeah. So please, if it worked, yes. If it doesn't work, share your own opinion. So maybe before we even go, we get to the thick of it. We want to do the recap of the previous session and the comments that you guys have made. I think if I had to sum up, you will correct me, Meg. If I have to sum it up, was the concern or the comment, the biggest comment that was there, or it's the biggest comment. I would put it that way. Is people are saying in case of being unequally yoked, they said we need to speak about unequally yoked even within the Christian context. We're not sure if we're gonna put a lot of meat into that, because of we have different views about that, but we'd like to hear from you, Meg. What do you think about that?
Yeah, when I saw that, I just had questions.
Sure.
Whether one can be unequally yoked in the Christian context. So can believers be unequally yoked? And I had my differences about that.
What do you think?
If we look at it like into a pot of unequally yoked, what I'd like to take out of that as believers is, you can be a believer who has double standards.
Sure.
That does not mean that you're a believer.
Yes.
If I may say,
sure.
if you're living a double standard life, it's either hot or cold. You know, you can't be in between.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then that person and an unbeliever wouldn't work.
Yeah.
And then somebody who is not a believer, obviously,
wouldn't work. We wouldn't recommend that.
Oh, maybe, sorry.
Maybe it may work, but we wouldn't
recommend that at all.
Recommend that, but also our opinions is obviously influenced by our Christian stance and what we learn from the Bible.
And then another one was a case of immaturity, whether a more mature Christian would work with a less mature Christianity.
Sure.
And what I'd like to say about that is, how do you even measure someone's Christian maturity?
Yes.
How do you look at someone and say, this one is not mature enough for me? So
it might bring the element of pride.
Of pride,
but also, of course, I mean, the journey of being a Christian, we grow.
Yeah.
What we wanted to say initially, maybe if you want to add on that, is that you say we're not the same in our understanding of who Christ is, and those things are things that we can work on as we grow, as we mature in Christ and understand Him better. But what we wanted to bring as an equal yoke is you as a believer, as a child of God, and someone who's completely
who does not subscribe to the Christian faith,
to a Christian faith,
or does not believe in God.
Sure. That's the angle that we want to
look at and focus on.
Because
this one can also get a bit messy. And
it can get a bit messy. Well, we don't mind to get our hands messy. It's just that we're not prepared on this specific video that we want to make now. So it was just to bring that. So it's almost like there's our viewers are almost suggesting almost like 3 steps. Like there's a believer and the unbeliever, but also there's a believer and a double standard believer, but also there's a believer and a believer who is not mature. So it's just like a lot of standards, but for now we will deal with a believer and an unbeliever. We hope that we can get time to speak about believer and believer, because then we speak about the journey of growing together and helping each other to understand. But that's not what we want to delve into. But also, as we have said, even in the biblical context, also the whole point of I mean, when the children of God gets into the promised land, they were given strict instructions. They should not practice. They should not do so. They should not be practice mediums. They should not do this. But also part of the instruction is you should not marry them, or you should not be. You should not intermarry. Is to keep it within, because the danger of that is to the possibility of even breeding ungodly offsprings. And the unequally yoked, even in from the Corinthians aspect, it does not necessarily speak about marriage, but we want to apply that context because it speaks about light and darkness. Why would you, as a child of God, know that you are a child of light, intentionally be in a space in that kind of relationship? But I think we can keep it there. Do you want to before we?
I'm good. I want us to get into the next.
To the next one. Oh, sure. So, guys, we want to speak also about the red flags. What are those things that you need to look into? Just to be careful to guide you to navigate into this space of dating and to see whether it works or
if it doesn't.
Or if it doesn't. For me, I will just say a few stuff, but for me, one thing it's time that it's part of it. Obviously, we have stepped out from the unequally yoked and believing part, but the other thing, even within the same equally yoked, it's time. A lot of people they say, I am busy. There's no such thing. We all are busy. It just depends on what you are busy. It all depends. If you want to make me part of your business, you will do that. But if you want to see me as an extra project, that's an extra time. Stay away from people who want to treat you like you're an extra project. You need to.
So the relationship shouldn't work around convenience.
No. Commitment. Commitment.
Hey, that's a word.
Yeah.
Convenience. No, commitment, not convenience.
Yes, not convenience. Commitment. We work on that. We need to be committed. Does the person have time? I don't have time. I was busy. We all are busy.
Because you're in this together eventually.
Sure.
And the danger of getting into a dating space is looking for a place to settle.
Oh yeah, sure.
The dating space is a journey.
Yes.
It's not a place where you settle and you like.
Yes, sure.
You can relax and you can get busy with other stuff and not look into. You guys are both evaluating this whether it will work or if it will not. So if the person is not able to invest time into it, then it's a red flag.
It's a red flag. And one of our friends, Kat, spoke about 2 things. She spoke about how someone views money, their view of money and their view of career. How do they view some people have you need to be careful of if a person is about me, about my career, about my money, about me every time. There's a danger that a person have to have a healthy look at of money and of success as in general, because some people view money as a thing that they will pursue with their whole and neglect this. So if a person put those things, and we're not saying you shouldn't pursue your careers, but just be careful. Listen to people, how they speak. A person that you choose to date, listen to how they view money. Listen to how they view their career. Do they even see you alongside them? Kind of thing.
Sure. And another one for me is is how what do people say about this person?
Yeah,
and I know
sure.
the common narrative is to say, I don't care what people say about
Yeah,
him, and
yeah.
it doesn't matter what they say about him. But I think to a certain extent it does matter, because how do people feel around your person?
Yes.
Or your partner?
Yeah.
How does he treat other people?
Yes, it's true.
I think that's important, because when you're in the dating space, one can easily manipulate you to think
Yes.
in a certain way about them.
Sure.
But
True.
once they sit down and they're comfortable and they have you,
Yeah.
then it's a different story. You will see what other people say about him play out in that very same
Yes,
space.
sure.
So it's something to look out for. Yes, I'm not saying follow everything that people say, but listen to those subtle comments that they make about
check
that
what
person.
check what they say, how they speak,
Yeah.
and in terms of their your involvement in them and their involvement with other people. How do they treat their sisters and their siblings?
Yeah.
How do they treat their colleagues and others? And those things are important. You should be able to note some certain behavior. You know, the tricky part is you see, we are wired differently, and I want to bring that into context.
Sure.
We are wired differently as men and as women. Sometimes as men, I think I've said it in the past, that we love whatever we see, but on the contrary, female, and it's not a general ruling, obviously, don't persecute me for that, but that is my discovery thus far.
Yeah.
That they love with exception.
Okay.
You see, there's, and they want a combination of some. He must be nice, but he must be gangster. he must be funny, but he must not be popular. He must. So, but also the extreme part of that is, I love him, but he drinks. It's a minor thing. It's a minor thing. It's a minor. Those things are red flags, because the possibility that if they are not willing to sacrifice those, or if they don't let go of those things, what make you think you will change them?
Yeah.
Because people just say, I love him, he just do this, he does this, he does that, he does this. Those are minor things that we will work on. I don't like how he dress, I don't like how he this, but I can work on it. You are not here to fix anyone. How many times are we preaching as pastors? People don't want to repent. If they don't want to repent, not even you will convince them. So take it easy, be sober in relationship.
And I think you won't find anyone perfect.
Yeah, sure.
You won't find the right person who will give you the time, who people will speak rightly about, who won't have all these things.
Sure.
So I think just choose what you can work with in the long term. But I think the fundamentals that we need to place for ourselves to say that these are the things that we cannot compromise on.
Sure. No, I fully agree with that. We need to have that first common understanding to say, this is we believe together, we have this understanding. Certain things may not necessarily work together, but also because there's no manual to a relationship to say this. It's not a copy and paste thing. But one thing that I want to bring into context, to not bring to you guys before we even close. We know we've just touched few stuff, but I think one thing that I think it's important is, don't make dating complicated. Dating is not marriage. If it does not work, leave. It's true.
But
this thing now.
That's a taboo pair.
The thing is, Mac, here's the thing. Now you involve this person's sister, their cousin, everything. There's a whole squad that now you see that this thing is not working. But because you have committed to the sisters and the sister-in-law, you can't, because you are breaking up with the rest of us. You're not just breaking up with. Don't make this thing complicated. It's simple. We see whether we are compatible or not in terms of our journey together. Sure.
Has it never worked for you?
Huh?
Has it ever?
Oh yeah, no.
Has it ever not worked for you?
Yeah, I know. If few have not worked,
And then how did you get?
Huh?
How did you get out?
Like I said, if it does not work, leave. Don't make it long-term commitment on something that does not work.
So you picked up red flags.
Yeah, no, they were definitely red flags. And some people are not. It's not because they are not. Some people are not just. Are not bad people at all. Are not bad people at all. But they're just not good for you as a person. But that does not make them bad people. And you need to be able to discern that too.
But then the red flags you'll see as you. Did you not pick up any red flags now, like with
Jessica?
Yeah.
You see, I have said on the previous video that don't measure with minors.
Okay.
There's some stuff that are big things that I'm like, yeah, no, this one I can't work with. This is big. I'm not gonna cross. But there's some stuff that are that I say, like we said, none of us is perfect. We work around some things, of course, with the help of God, but also with the commitment from the two of us to make those certain things work. But definitely there were not. My wife and me, we were both not perfect beings when we enter into relationship, but there were things that I was very specific about and not willing to let go or compromise, and I've already shared it on the previous video.
So if you're not checked it out, please do check it out.
Check our previous videos, check all of them, especially on this topic. So if it doesn't work, pack your bags. Go.
Yeah, so before Opa starts to butcher me, because you know he likes putting me on the spot.
No, today I'm not going. Not today.
But we also want to explore this. How long do you stay in that dating space?
Oh yeah, sure.
In our next discussion, like what is there a time?
Yes.
To it.
And while you are still telling, the other controversial on that one is apart from how long do you stay on a dating space is. Now that we've agreed we're Christians, we are exploring our relationship together. How far?
How far?
Yeah, how far can we go in? How far can we explore this relationship?
Because relationships, like, it's about learning each other and exploring and seeing if it can work in the future.
Yeah, other people who want to explore even in the bedroom say let's test before we drive. We want to engage in that one. So stay tuned and look out for the next conversation. We'll probably have other people to speak in this topic too.
Definitely.
Yeah. We'll have other people speaking this, but stay tuned. We have just. This is just the beginning. We have not even went in deep. So guys, look at the t-shirts, remain plugged, and we hope that you will have a good evening. We're looking forward to hear from you. Ciao.
This production was brought to you by Imago Day Media.